Hey you guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's good to be back and hope y'all doing fine. And let's get started. So today I'm gonna talk about something that's personal for me. And I just want to share my story, inspire somebody that's go through the same just like me. Today I want to talk about light intellectual disability. So that's what I have, and I've been diagnosed with that like years ago. And how they find out that I have that is through an IQ test, and about me telling them about my experience. And with them I mean my therapist. Since I was 26, I started my first seeing a therapist, because all through in my childhood life I knew there was something different about me. I had troubles with remember things, and started back, like I said, at my childhood at school. I noticed like things that others knew like very easy, it was harder for me. And also back at home, with growing up, I have two sisters, and I noticed the difference, like I was more slower. So that's when I started to know there was something different about me. So it was harder at school to remember things or doing tasks or tests. And I noticed that I had trouble also like with socializing at school. I couldn't always understand when somebody was talking too fast or using like words, like big words. So as for me, then it was just harder to understand and get along like in a group, or it made me felt like very insecure. And I had problems also like asking things, questions. And then at a certain point I got bullied for, because not only that I felt like I was different, people around me saw it too, of course, as well, because I was more slower. I didn't know certain things, I didn't know answers, so I got bullied for that at school, called dumb, stupid, and that made me believe it too. Then I thought maybe I am dumb, maybe I am stupid, because I don't know these things and I forget a lot of things. So it did not help me with my feeling like more confidence. But my video today is here. If you have the same just as me going through this, you have a light intellectual disability, I'm here to tell you that you're not dumb, you're not stupid. This is just, we're all different and we're all unique. And it took me like long to find out, this is why I am this slower with this, and that is okay. It just means that I'm a little bit slower thinking. I forget new information like quickly, so then I'm gonna write it down, or I'm gonna ask, if this person can talk a little bit slowly with me, or I will ask, can you repeat that again? I had to learn to ask more, or just being honest, I don't understand what you're saying. Can you repeat that again? As well as for the past, like when I didn't understand something, I felt embarrassed. So I didn't ask. I didn't say, I don't understand what you mean. So it can get very frustrated when you have this, when you're at school or even at work. It affected me very much, because lots of tasks, whether that was with work or at school, it was just hard for me. And yes, I would have people laughing or telling me, why is it so hard for you? Or like laughing. And looking back at them, I think about these things. It can really make you feel embarrassed. Even as an adult now, I still have difficulties with just the normal things in life. Just like with financially, it's hard for me. So with the daily life, it's just a little bit harder because as I have this intellectual disability, it's like kind of messy in my head. So it's harder for me to keep tasks like in nice and order. So routine is very important. Writing things down. So that's helped a lot for me, just keeping up with routine, taking little bit by little bit, taking smaller tasks and keep like things more in order. Because when things get messy, I get like all chaos and messy in my head, and then it's harder for me to think or get things done. Having this did make me feel lots of insecure and thinking, I can't do anything. I was always wondering why it's, so hard to do the normal things that I see just people are doing just that easy. And I'd struggled a lot with these questions in my head. I had to come to a place of accepting that this is what I have. I can either choose to let it get to me that much and getting like in a depressive place, or I can just do what is best with what I can do. That's nothing more that you can do, just more your best, doing your best that you can. So when you're thinking, you can't do anything, you're not capable of this. Let's just say you have a goal of going to school, or you have a goal you want to do something new. I will say, at least try it. If you don't try something, you don't know. I thought, I can't do any study because I forget things. It's not for me. This is my life. I cannot remember things. I cannot do a study, and it's always I can't. And as I'm going through this journey and I'm getting help from therapists, and I'm doing more research on things, like developing more better, trying every day, what can I do better? It helped me to learn that, even if I have this disability, doesn't mean that I cannot do anything. So let me repeat that again. Not because I have this disability doesn't mean that I cannot do anything. Because like I said, a few years ago, I thought, I'm gonna challenge myself, and I did like this home study thing about herbal and spices. Because I'm very, I always felt interesting in herbs. I wanted to learn more about natural things. How can I make home remedies? And I did that study for a half year, I think so. And I got my diploma for it. Did it help? Was it hard? Yes, it was hard at certain times because it is difficult to remember things. But as I wrote things down and I took little bits by little bits, study like for 10 minutes a day, it did help me. And like I said, I got my diploma, and to be honest, looking back at it, it was also fun. So I hope that I can inspire others who has this, going through this experience as well. Because I know, and I'm talking about experiencing it myself, it is not easy. It is not easy because, yes, it can lower your self-esteem, but I will say use this as your power. Use all the insecurities and use it as your power. So yeah, we are different, but aren't we all? Aren't we all? Everybody is going through their own things, own path in their lives. Nobody's perfect. And all the negativity, whether that's people calling me names, I'm slow, I'm stupid, I'm dumb. Yes, they can think that. But I don't agree with that anymore. Do I still have insecurities? Yes. but I'm trying to learn, let one negativity come in and out, and just doing my best that I can. What's helped me more also is then when somebody speaks to me, like I said, when I think it's hard, for me it is easy when somebody talk as short as possible, like not a long story. I will understand somebody more quicker when I keep it just short. Tell me how it is, keep it short, and I remember it easy. And yeah, I'm just forgettable, Alisa. I do believe if you can laugh a little about things and not make it like too serious, it can be just, I'm not trying to hide it. I'm not trying to make an excuse. It's just how it is. I can forget things, and some things is just harder for me to do. And I accepted that. I needed to be in a place that I accept help, and this is who I am. I just need extra help with certain things, and that is okay. Do I need to constantly explain myself to people? Oh, I have a light intellectual disability, so can you do this for me? Can you just talk a little bit slower? Can you just keep it simple with me? I don't have to explain like all the time to people, but like with my close ones, or to people that I'm close with. But to other people's, like if I don't know you that well, I just keep it light and short. At the same time, I want to say this as well. Don't feel ashamed or embarrassed that you have that. When I first heard that I have a light intellectual disability, I was like, okay, yes, it makes sense. I was also like kind of like surprised as well. At the same time, I was like, no, yeah, and that makes sense. And I just have to come to a place, like I said, I accept that I have this. It does affect like lots of area in my life. Like with work, it's hard for me to like find a job that like I can do. So in the past, like when I was working, I had struggling with remembering things. I got lots of things wrong, and I was slower with certain things. So it is more difficult to find a job when you have this. But it's also like at school with learning. That's why I've chose to do my study at home, because I have difficulty also like with socializing. It's like with all area in our life. When you have this, you're more slower, like in all area. Like I still don't have my driving license, but that's with not only with this. It's also causes like with my anxiety, I stopped that. But I'm still planning to do that in the future. I do want to say again, don't make this like in something negative. If you have this, just try to like embrace it, but that doesn't like define you as a person. Don't think, oh, I cannot do anything. Don't think, oh, well, this is how my life is always going to be. I cannot do anything. That is so not true. And keep positive people around you as well that do understand you. And people that only make you feel bad, keep a distance from them. And just remember, nobody's perfect, and we all do need help in certain time anyways. And just know, this is also what I'm doing for me. What I'm giving advice here, I'm doing for me as well. So this doesn't mean that I cannot do anything. I'm just a little bit slower, and that's fine too. We're doing things in our own way, in our own tempo, and we're all on our own journey. So we don't need to feel rushed. We don't need to race somebody else. Don't look at what others have. That's something that I had to learn too. Stop looking at what others are doing. Stop looking what others are achieving. You are in your own journey, and make it an adventure. Explore. Learn something new. Don't go right away saying, I can't do this. Just try. And just see it as something fun, because this is also something that I have. Like, I always have people telling me, oh, Lisa, you're so childish. Life is more fun. So yes, I can still have like a mentality like a child, but it can be fun. This is just who I am. Just leave me alone. So what could be the causes of the light intellectual disability? It could be like when you were born, like less oxygen in your brain. That's what my therapist told me, that it could be the cause. That's what I have. And a low IQ results. It could be also alcohol and drugs and affection in the brain and genetic conditions. If you think you might have this, you can always try and go to the doctor, or seek a therapist, go to a therapist. That's helped me a lot. For me personally, I had to be in a place that I accept this, that I have difficulties and certain things are just harder for me. Yes, I can still have the insecurities of it, but at the same time, I'm embracing it. And what I mean by embracing it, just acceptance that certain things is gonna be harder, it's gonna be more difficult, because I am slower with certain things, but it doesn't mean that I cannot do certain things. So I'm just learning to take things more step by step, little steps even. And I do believe with these little steps, you can achieve anything you want. And it took me years to come to this place, that not because somebody else did it means that you cannot. You will have people telling you, well, it's going to be hard, or you cannot do this. But I will say no, anything is possible if you put your mind to it. And yes, for other people, maybe it's gonna be more easier, maybe they will achieve things more faster, but don't let that stop you for achieving your goals as well. And that's something that I'm trying to do as well. I'm on my journey. I'm gonna say it again, I'm on my journey of achieving my goals. And even if I take it slow, then it's taking slow. Who cares? And if you're at school and you have this as well, the light intellectual disability too, then I will advise, there are schools that's gonna that it will be more better that you can do your schooling there. There are special schools that they can offer people who has this, so it will be more fun and easy and better to do that. Looking back, I thought if I knew that I had this, I would go for that. Because I do remember when I didn't get my diploma when I was at school 16, they did send me to another school, and in that school, it was like on a lower level, and I noticed I did so good at that school, and I felt more happier going there. So that's maybe a suggestion if you're still going to school. And at work, for me personally, when I had troubles at work, because I didn't know I had this, I seek help. I talk to therapists, I talk to my doctors about my issues and problems. So that's another advice I think you can do as well. Don't feel embarrassed, don't hide. Talk to somebody about this, because there's nothing wrong with you. It's just that you just need extra help. So hopefully I inspire somebody with my story. If you want to share your story, feel free to share it in the comments below. And I will say thank you guys for watching. See you next time.